What's good? Back in the building, man. As y'all see the topic, when we get into a little bit of sports today, which I've been wanting to do for a little minute, but just been having a time. But today you see the topic Kobe versus LeBron. Who's really the better player? And I emphasize player because I really think that matters in this conversation. Greater, that could be a little subjective. Obviously, even who's the better player can be subjective, but I think when you get into the technicalities, the fundamentals of basketball, maybe you can kind of hone in on who's a little better of a player. And maybe you see the thumb tags that I got up there. But we're going to be using a lot of the 2009 to kind of get into this conversation of who's better. But, yeah, man, y'all know this conversation been a while for a long time. And I want to say, like, obviously, since, like, LeBron's been in the Miami Heat, like, who's really a greater player hasn't even been in the conversation. I kind of think it's a little out of whack, and now that LeBron's kind of winding down his career, we kind of starting to get a little bit of a comparison more than when he was in Miami. Because I swear it wasn't even a conversation who's better, and Kobe still had 5 more rings, even when LeBron was still winning his first. But now, like I said, things are kind of winding down. I feel like a little bit of the who's better, Kobe or LeBron conversations coming back into play. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just a LeBron hater. But even outside of that, with the thing that happened in Miami with LeBron being so much better as far as people where they ranked them as far as being behind the GOAT or at the GOAT level, I think that kind of was due to projections, if you ask me. When LeBron was in 2000 and what was that, 2010, 2011, 2012 when he first get there, we had projections that LeBron was going to win a certain amount of rings. We had a projection that LeBron greatness was going to extend to a certain level that maybe was passing Kobe. And I feel like that's why Kobe kind of got pushed out of the argument, because we was looking at the projections and where LeBron was going to kind of line up at the end of his career. And let's be real, he had the opportunity to be completely out of the conversation of being better than Kobe. He went to 10 different championships. Let's be real, he'd have won 6 of those 10, or maybe 7 of those 10. The conversation with him and Kobe would be out the loop, even though he maybe lost, 4 championships. The fact that he got more, or at least give him the edge, especially when you add the longevity and all these other different things that people love to add. So I think it was a fair measurement to give those projections of him being a little bit better than Kobe, because he almost did it, if you ask me. Very, very close. When you go to 10 championships, 10 straight championships, excuse me, and all that good stuff. So that's why I think he ended up ranking so high. But now that we got to kind of see where his career he's 4-6, plenty of opportunities. I think we can kind of say that Kobe has a right to have the argument to being the number 2 or number 1 best player. If you want to say LeBron's the number 1, I think Kobe should have that right. So getting into it, only Kobe could stop the white prime the white. Even LeBron was no match for him. And that just sparked my mind, which sparked this video and every other thing. Bron not having admit he hurt his game against the great big men. And that's going to me saying who's a better player. I feel like Kobe was 3-dimensional when you think about the game of basketball, maybe 4 dimensions. Because you got the post game, you got to get into the basket, you got the midi, you got the 3-point game. And I feel like Kobe was very excellent in all those things. And then when you come to LeBron, I think he misses out on that mid-range game and that post game a lot, because and I think that hurts him as far as where he ranks as a better player when it comes to him and Kobe. Because let's say your 3-point shot's not hitting, or they running you off the 3-point line. When you got Dwight, Tim Duncan, Tyson Chandler, Dirk, some of these great big men in the paint, you can't always just go muscle outman them, because they huge dudes as well. So you're gonna need that mid range, you're gonna need that post game to be it's not a response, but a countermeasure or a counterattack to how they might be defending you, as far as, hey, let's just send him to the basket and he got to go against Dwight. And that'll work if all you have is 2 dimensions, either a 3-point game or getting to the basket. If you kind of lacking in the mid-range, which obviously LeBron has a mid-range. He's one of the top players of all time. But when it comes to the brightest moments, the biggest moments, I think those kind of fail him in not having that in his bag. And that's when I hear bagless, that's when I think about LeBron not having a mid-range, shit like that. So we're going to watch some of this just to look at the examples of how I feel Kobe was able to dominate this team. We're going to get into some stats as well. Look how many mid range. Look how many post shots he was taking when Dwight just roaming the paint. Oh shit! Let me adjust this real quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh shit! I forgot I'm live. I'm live and recording. Just cause I don't honestly, bro. It's the first time I'm really doing a sports conversation, and we talking about Kobe and LeBron. I feel like I should go live, but I'm probably most likely gonna edit something when it comes to this video. But I low key forgot I was live. That's why I said that. All right, yeah, ain't nobody in the chat yet, but we'll see. See if we can get this reloaded up. I feel like my computer acting a little slow. Maybe I'm crazy. I wonder if it's because I'm recording and streaming at the same time. But yeah, just look at the mid range. Let's see if this shit work first. Yeah, this shit acting stupid. All right, let me. Kind of salty because this was literally just playing right before. Let me see. Let me go to another. Yeah, no, my computer's acting slow. I think it's because I'm recording and streaming at the same time. That shit not used to doing that. I don't know. Yeah, this whole lagging. Damn it. I might have to kill the recording on this. Kind of sucks. Okay, here we go. Oh no! As soon as it started running, it's yeah. That shit gay as hell. Let me see if this makes it better. All right, there we go. It's working now. So you just look at the mid range. Look at the post play. Every time Dwight just sitting in the paint, he can't get to an easy bucket. He kill him. Beautiful quality, I ain't gonna lie. Killing Michael Petras. But look at him. You see the white in the frame right there, holding the paint, roaming the paint. Guess what, Midi? If he didn't have that mid range, he forced to get to the basket. It's gonna be a tough shot. Even then, it's a tough shot. They can foul him and everything. Look at this shit. Still knocking it down because it just he was lethal from mid range, lethal from the post. And when we talk about winning finals, winning championships against great teams or good teams, they got many different defensive attacks or principles that they're trying to hit you with. You're gonna need them responses. That's tough. Two dimes back to back. Took Gortat to the basket. Here go the post game. Look, Dwight right there. Dwight right there. That's just a good move. But it started from the post. Midi. Dwight was right there roaming. I'm pretty sure he could meet. I'm pretty sure he could beat Rashard Lewis to a spot and try to make an attempt. But with Dwight being hovering, Midi. Dwight right in front of him, Midi. It's a different level. It's a different level. And LeBron is extremely great. But I ain't gonna lie to you, when it comes to being a better player, I think Kobe edges him out if you ask me. And then look at this. I'm just breaking down the game. He's killing them mid range. Dwight got to step up a little bit more. Obviously, it's a pick and roll, so he's stepping up too. But you got to respect Kobe's mid range, so you can't just sink to the paint. Paul Gasol wide open because of that. Dwight right there just got bigger. Just got bigger. Let me see. Dwight right there, Mitty in his face. Dwight hovering, Mitty again. It's a different level, blowing their ass out. And I'm gonna show y'all the stats, play by play, or quarter by quarter too. Another Mitty. Like you said, he's in a different mode. And I know a long time in past, and we forget about stuff like that, but he was in his bag. That's why he beat them 4-1, and LeBron lost to them 4-2. It's a big difference. Um, let me see. Somebody responded to this. Okay, yeah. Just look at his middies he took with Kobe while Dwight was running in the paint. Lakers fan. He's a Laker fan, but LeBron played better than versus the Magic than Kobe. And I just sum up what I said. His numbers may have been better, but when you talk about responding and having the aggression when you're up or responding when they make a run, there's a big difference. I remember watching KD a lot of games when we were down 3-1 when he lose to Miami. He got 30 points, but it don't feel like he got 30 because he might have got that 30 when they down 15, 16. Yeah, he make a little run, but they push it to 8 and then get back down 15 again. It's like, all right, yeah, you got 30, but it'd have been better if you'd have got, let's say you went on that 10-0 run, or let's say you got 10 buckets in a row for the team or whatever. It'd have been a lot better you did that in the first and second quarter when when the Heat was making a run versus you trying to do that when y'all already down. And that matters a lot when it comes to when you're scoring and how you decide to score. Cat playing that shit. So when I see it, yo, he might have had better numbers. When you look at let me go back. Well, he at 38.5, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Numbers are great. Kobe is slightly less than that. I think Kobe had 32 points a game. So, 32, 5, and 7. So, in my mind, with this type of thing, this is where Jordan and Kobe took that leap. Jordan at one point averaging 38, 40 points in the playoffs. He brought that down to 32, let other people get more involved, had more of a team, triangle offense, obviously, but had more of a team thing that was going on where people had more chemistry going into these later rounds, going into the finals where they actually had a role versus you just standing in the corner waiting on LeBron to pass it to you and things like that. When he got 38 points and he ball dominant like Luka is and shit like that now today, of course Luka gonna drop 50 points. So when you look at his points, rebounds, assists, or whatever, of course the motherfucker gonna have 70. He got the ball all game. But when it comes to your players and how people play around you, that can affect it. So, yeah, LeBron got 38, but that 38 is empty calories to me because, yeah, you ball dominant. Yeah, you made plays, but you ain't making the plays in the right moments that Kobe was doing. And let's get into it. Game 1, we're gonna do the same for LeBron too. I haven't did it with LeBron. I did it with Kobe. So we'll start here first. Game 1, Dwight did not play good. Only had 12 points. But when I hear why the Magic beat LeBron, it was more about the team than it was just Dwight. Obviously, Dwight was great, but it was more about the team. So Dwight having a bad game, it's not just like, oh my God, the team gonna lose automatically. But Kobe dropped 40. The next highest 16 and 11. So that's a Kobe carry job. And then from here, these niggas just did not play good. But let's look at it. Quarter 1, 24 points for the Magic, 22 points by the Lakers. Kobe had 6, Higo had 9. So coming out the gate, Kobe's aggressive. Kobe's keeping it where it needs to be. They're down 2, but they're right where they want to be, considering they're at home. Quarter number 2, Orlando has 19. The Lakers have 31, so they gapped them. They was down 2, now they up about 11 or 10 or however you want to. I ain't doing exact math here, but look who took off. The team played good, but Kobe had 12. He amped that aggression, built the gap. Halftime, let's just look at the halftime, 43 to 53. But Kobe got 18. He's clearly the highest player out here. So this dude was saying LeBron outplayed Kobe when it came to the matchups, but it all depends on when you're putting them points in. He stacked up a lead, and it was pretty much him being aggressive. 18 points. We're going to the third. He dropped 18 points in the third. And let's see, the Magic only had 15. So Kobe looking at how I look at this, Kobe looking at these boys as a child meat. They ain't responding. They ain't got answers. They ain't got consistent offense in the third quarter. We already up 10. I'm about to put my foot on their neck. Dropped another 18 versus, let's say, KD. I'm not going to use LeBron because LeBron has pretty good performances for the most part in situations. But KD, they'd be down 20, and now he got 18 in the quarter. But it's like, bro, y'all down 20. Why you didn't do that when the game was tied? Like, why you didn't cut that aggression on when the game was tied and when y'all were down 5 versus when y'all down 20? Yeah, now you got 18, but who cares? Who cares? Y'all still lost. A lot of fans do that these days, bro. He lost, but he dropped 40. Who gives a fuck? He could have dropped that 40 in the fourth quarter when they were down 20. He just heaving threes. Like, that 40 is irrelevant when you're getting blown out, in my eyes. So now let's go to the fourth quarter. Starters didn't do shit. This team checked out by the end of this quarter already. They're like, we getting our ass whooped. That's game time. Kobe dropped 4 to end that. So, complete game. He dominated, and he put the pedal to the metal when he needed to. So now game 2. Win again. And if I'm not mistaken, no, the Magic won the game one. Okay. All right, so let's look at the game stats. Higu had 22, Dwight had 17, Rashard had 34. And that's what I mean. Dwight might not have a great game, but it was a good team because Dwight didn't just have the ball all damn game. He had to rely on other people to get him the ball and other people to make plays as well. But LeBron, it's a little different. All right, so Kobe wasn't even the highest scorer of the game, but that's why it don't matter. You can drop 34, but if your team loses, it don't matter because 34 is inflated to a degree. Kobe got 29. Who else had? Paul Gasol had 24. Lamar had 19, so he stepped up coming off the bench. That's big time, honestly. So let's look at it. First quarter, pretty even. 15 to 15, directly even. Both teams came out slow. Second quarter, Rayford Austin had 18 points in one quarter. That's huge. You will expect the White to have 18 points. Y'all down one game already on the home court. Let's step up, especially when you got other players contributing like Rayford Austin. 20-25. So the Lakers are up 5 points. And Kobe was chilling at this moment for sure. Rayford had 18 to keep him in the game. Let's look at the halftime. So Rashard had 20. What Rayford? Wait, what? Half one. How did that work? Oh, that was Rashard Lewis. I was looking at it wrong. My bad. Rashard Lewis had 18. He rounded up the quarter with 20. The half with 20. And Kobe only had 6. At the time, the score is 35-40 with them winning. With Kobe, he contributed. He got 6 points. Pretty average for the team, but let's go in the third quarter. Orlando dropped 30. The Lakers dropped 23. And this is what I mean. Stepping up against runs, stepping up in the big moments when you need to. Kobe has 10 points. They was up 5. So Orlando went on a run. Now they're up, I want to say 3. Yeah, they up 3 now. So Orlando will be up at this moment, if I'm not mistaken. And Kobe, if he didn't answer, he didn't respond, they might have lost game 2 because these niggas went on 30. They dropped 30, they dropped 23. That's a huge difference going into the fourth quarter, especially if the team stays hot through the fourth quarter. Kobe answers. He delivers 10 points in the third, which keeps it to a 3-point game. Let's go to the fourth. The Magic have 23 points in the game. The Lakers have 25. And guess what happens again? Kobe drops 11 points to seal the deal. He cut it on. The first half, he was cruising. The first half, I don't need to be ball dominant. I don't need to drop 30 points in the game. We up 5. The team playing good. Everybody's contributing. I'm chilling. Are we down? here I come. I ain't about to let you boys, run it off on us. So if you look at the second half totals, he was the highest scoring when you come to the fourth quarter. I mean, to the second half. You had 19. Rashard ended up with 11. Dwight had 10. Dwight did not play good in these finals for sure. But it wasn't to say that they wasn't even close. Like, these still was good games, but Kobe was being the difference maker. Dwight had his chances, but Kobe was the difference in these games. All right, so 104 to 108. Kobe dropped 31. And then this was just a dominant performance from everybody. Ray Austin had 20. Rashard had 20. Higu had 20. Everybody had 20 pretty much. Even Michael Peters had damn near 20. So let's look at the quarters. Let's see how Kobe responded. Kobe had 17 in the first. And let's see, 27 to 31. So he came out swinging, bro. That's what I'm saying. Kobe he was different. He knew when to turn it on. He knew when to turn it off. He knew how to analyze teams and when to attack and things like that. Took the lead coming out the gates, coming out strong, especially being up 2-0. Like, yeah, I'm about to come out strong and try to get you niggas out of here. Second quarter, these niggas just on fire, 32 to 23. And at this point, let me see. So, the Magic got the lead by a little bit at that point. Let me see. That's 54 to 59. Orlando. I'm looking over here. I ain't the greatest at math, but. So rounding up the halftime, Kobe has 21. No one really else is responding except Paul got 10. But literally 4 dudes already in double digits, and Michael Peters is very close. So they made a little run. They only up 5. Going into quarter 3, Kobe had 5, Paul had 7, Trevor had 7, which is up there with one of the highest scores, but it was a pretty close quarter, 21-22. So let's see what he did in the fourth. Pretty quiet, honestly. Let me see. 2 for 6, 0 for 3 from 3. So I mean, he was being aggressive. He just was missing. And it happens. Only scored 5 to rack up the fourth quarter, and then let's see. So halftime, he only had 2. So he started out a lot stronger than he finished, and they still only lost by 4 points. So I mean, a couple of shots falling differently. They take that game as well. So now we coming out. This is the potential. Like, the Magic, if they win this game, they tie it back up. So this is huge. If they lose this game, it's pretty much an elimination game. If you win, you right back in it. If you lose, it's pretty much over. All right, Kobe dropped 32. Big time game. Pretty much a closeout game. Dwight 16 again. 16-11, which is cool, but he definitely didn't step up when he needed to. So let's look at it. First quarter, Kobe come out swinging again. On y'all ass. Y'all got away. Y'all escaped me sweeping you niggas by 4 points last game. So I'm going to do the same thing this game and really kill y'all. That's how I see it. Higu scoring, though. Higu Turkoglu scoring as well, though. And they actually down right here. So Kobe keeping them in the game, 13 points, down 4. Because if you don't have that 13, they might be down even more. How I'm looking at it. Going into the second, they losing again. What's the score? 49 to 37. They were down 49 to 37 at halftime, bro. Kobe's different, bro. He's different. 37 to 49. I was right. So at that point, he's leading the team with 16, and he's leading the game with 16. That's huge considering that y'all come back. Y'all make a comeback. Trevor Ariza stepped up with 13, but Kobe with 8 in a quarter. That's pretty high when you consider it's the second highest by a good little margin. So now what? That's 30 to 14. My God, they locked these niggas up. They had 14 points the whole quarter. And I forgot that team had JJ Redick. That's crazy. They locked them up. Along with just good offense. So that what that put the game at? And I ain't trying to do 3 numbers. That pretty much that's 50, that's 67, that's 49, 59, 63. So 63 to 67. So it's pretty close. If I'm not mistaken. My math could be a little off. what 3 4 point game pretty much. Then we're going into the fourth. Kobe with 4, Paul Gasol with 4, Dwight with 7, Hickey with 8. They just outlasted him at that point. Wait, I think I'm doing I think I'm doing the totals wrong. Oh no, it's an overtime. And the Lakers took off in overtime. So second half, Kobe was the second leading scorer on the team. Michael Peters was literally the leading scorer. That's actually crazy. Then we go to overtime. Paul Gasol step up, Kobe step up. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the series. But it's just, like I said, from watching these things, bro, play out back in the day, yeah, LeBron had a great series against the Magic, but you failed. You lost. And then game 5, Kobe with 30. We're not going to go through that. Let's go. So then we're going to look at the 2009 Orlando versus the Cavs because LeBron was playing great. Let's keep in mind, LeBron's playing great in these games. 49, 35, 41, 44, 37, 40. Oh, that ain't even him on that last one. But when you look at the scores, though, game 1, they lost by 1. Came down to 1 possession. So that's a turnover. That's a couple possessions where maybe you do things a little differently. Y'all win that game. It's not even about you not having a team or a good team because you didn't lose by a lot. You lost by 1 this game. You lost by 1. You won by 1 game 2. Game 3 got out of hand, lost by 10. But game 4, when it comes to, all right, this is going to be a big game. If we win or lose, either we in it or we pretty much out. 2-point loss. So when the series was still close, there was only 1 game that was really outside of 2 points. So that really comes down to, did you force something in the paint that you shouldn't have forced? Did you get a midi? Did you make the right passes? So let's look into it. Because stats it's huge. He dropped 49, but when it comes to being a better player, sometimes doing a little bit less is more. So why did you lose this? Why did the Cavs lose this game? I ain't gonna lie. Magic was coming at him crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. But once again, he dropped 49, but he had four of the dudes in double digits. So it's not that they can't produce. Mo Williams had 17. Delonte had 11. Andre had 14. Igauskis had 10, and he was plus 12 in the box. He had the best plus minus. So they're definitely contributing. Let's see. Is there anything that stands out? Is this 1-point loss? Only 2 turnovers. Won a high turnover game. 8 assists. He played good. Shot 66% from the field. Shot 50 from the 3. Great game for sure. And sometimes the ball just roll the wrong way. Refs make the wrong call. That shit happens too. It ain't always on the player. But when it comes to a 1-point game and you one of the GOATs, when you come to top 3 of all time, that's when I start to look for you to make up for those 1-point losses, 2-point losses, and shit like that. Because there was plenty of games. It's close versus Jordan and the Jazz and shit like that, but he closed them out in game 6 instead of letting them get a little high and shit like that. But he making buzzer beater shots. So the games be close, but he become the difference in those key moments. So let's look at it. First quarter, the score is 19-33. Cavs jumping on their ass. So this team. So when I hear what frustrates me with the LeBron James conversation is either he carries and his team sucks, or he carries and his team sucks. It's never, they just fell short, lack of coaching, a little bit too ball dominant. Like, it's never none of that. Like, when I say lack of coaching, it's just a lack of key principles, a lack of good ball movement and shit like that. And that's a part of Bron kind of being like, nigga, he is low-key the coach a lot of times when it comes to, we gonna do what Bron say. And it is what it is. Especially when he came back to the Cavs and shit like that. But even before, he was, everything running through him besides some of the players they brought in there. But when it came to offense and things like that, everything was running through LeBron. So, game's close. Game's not even close. They blowing him out. Came out strong. So, LeBron, I know it's the first quarter and there's a lot of game left. Y'all blew a 12-point lead. Am I wrong? Or 14-point lead, something like that. One of those. Second quarter. We're still up big. So they got 66 points. LeBron has 60. The Cavaliers have 63 points in the first half. So it's not a lack of competition. It's not he got to carry all these sorry ass niggas. They can make things happen, but the problem with ball dominant offenses is if a defense make the right adjustments, it will slow y'all down and make y'all stagnant in certain points of the game. That if you had Spurs type ball movement, or you had the Warriors type ball movement or system, you have less moments of that stagnation in games or even in series, is because that shit can linger over multiple games when you get stagnant and shit like that. But when you have a more flowing offense, you got players that know their roles and know their position, like the Nuggets. It's hard for them to have 4 straight quarters of bad offense, bad defense. Because they up big, 63 points. I mean, they up 63 to, that's 30 plus 18, 48, if I'm not mistaken. 63 to 48. So they got a good lead, but the problem is things get stale. Teams make adjustments, and they made an adjustment very quick. Game 1. I forget the one of them brothers that do the announcements and shit like that. I forget the other brother name. I forget both the brothers' name actually, but Van Gundy, or one of the Van Gundy brothers. I forget. The niggas seen something. They seen something and was like, "Hey, we down 14, 15. Do this." And after that, they took off. From what it looks like. So let's go into half, 48 to 63. Then we get into the third quarter. Orlando drops 30. Cavs drop 19. They went to halftime and they made adjustments. LeBron still has 13, which is cool, but the rest of the offense is lacking for whatever reason. And LeBron high scoring every quarter, 10, 16, 13. So he's scoring high every quarter. Shooting efficient. But I would be curious to what's the PER. Maybe, if I'm looking at here, the bench is horrible. The bench is horrible. I'm going to be honest. I forgot to kind of mention that when I come here. I do have a bias to a degree, but I'm also trying to go into it with a question and seeing, like, what was the real reason? What is the real gap? I ain't really trying to just say, for a fact, I know Kobe's better player than LeBron or whatever, and I know exactly why they lost these games or anything like that, but I do think it comes to fundamental differences and not so much the role players and players around them. Because Delonte didn't even take a shot this quarter. Mo took 2 shots, which, I mean, that kind of, maybe they just standing around at the moment. Iggy took 2 shots. Maybe they're just waiting around for LeBron to make the right passes, and now maybe let's look at the Magic. LeBron's scoring all these points, but let's just let him score, and we're going to shut everything else down because they don't have any other way to create offenses. So that's technically the Cavaliers coaching and Bron fault as well, because I feel like he's the one that has to say when it comes to controlling the offense. So, yeah, LeBron's going crazy, but let's shut all that other shit down, and let's see what they do then. No adjustments. And if LeBron the GOAT, just wizard and thinking and how he sees the court. That's how everybody always say it. I always gas him up how great he is. There's nothing wrong with that. But I expect that to come out in these moments. Why not? So let's look at it. In the fourth quarter, he dropped. Oh, no, it's third quarter. So fourth quarter, 10 points again. So huge. But when it comes to ball dominant, I think that's the problem and why they lost this game. Delonte 1 of 4, which is not great, but let's be real. Ain't nobody else really taking big. He ain't really got a number 2, and that's tough. But the Magic are figuring it out. Cause Rashard Lewis, a year before this, he was okay. Higgy Turkoglu, he was okay on the way down. Ray Frosty, accordingly, Michael Petras, nothing. Anthony Johnson, nothing. Gortat, Tony Battle, nothing. JJ Redick, he's not even playing. Tyronn Lue, he's not even playing. So it's not that this team and the role players are just so much better. Like Mo Williams or Ray Frosty. It's very even. Well, I guess I should be Mo Williams or Rashard Lewis. It's pretty even. Higgy Turkoglu, at the time, he was definitely probably better than Delonte West, but Delonte West, he was a bucket, and I feel like you put the right offense around him, he could score more, especially being streaky. But if you don't really have a reliable 2, you can't have ball dominant people because at a certain point, them players is going to get stagnant. But they lost by 1. And I said, yeah, players, they didn't play as great as they could have on around him. But when you only lose by one, are you telling me LeBron couldn't have done anything different to change that around? There's not one shot he could have took back, one turnover he couldn't took back. Because it's a 1 point game. At the end of the day, the players around you just trying to help you get to the moment. We just trying to keep us in the game. Because yeah, obviously these dudes ain't stars and whatever, but their role is to keep the game close. Their role is to ball until the moment comes where, hey, we need you to take over. And it's not so much of an overexertion where you got to take over for 4 quarters. Now we just need you to take over 1 quarter, in a sense of where making everything happen. But I can't sit up here and say, oh, LeBron played shitty, and that's why he lost. I just think his play style leads to high level stats, but at the same time, it leads to them losing where they probably shouldn't have lost. So now we get into it. This is the big game winning, bro. I remember this like it was yesterday because at this time I was a huge LeBron fan before he went to the Miami and all that shit. When I say I was in a hater house, like I was in a house where it wasn't a home. I was in my friend's house and he was not a LeBron James fan, bro. So us losing and being down most of that game, if I'm not mistaken, it was an ugly game and we was already down 0-1. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. And we were at home as well, so they losing games on the home court. So yeah, that shit tough. So let's look at it. Lost but 1 by 1. Let's just look at it. LeBron 8 points. Rashard had 10. Run come out with 9. He be hooping 100%, damn near 100% from the field. Look at halftime. It was 44-56. The Cavs was up again, big. So it's not that it was a bad team, bro. Or it's nobody on the team. The Magic team was just so much better. Delonte had 8. Mo had 9. Iggy had 10. Sasha had 7. Joe Smith had 5. And so y'all up 12 points going in a half, and you only win by 1. And it's the same thing. You up 14 points at the half of the second quarter of the other game, and you lose by 1. So it'd be little shit like that of what's going on to a point you're up 12, but then all of a sudden you're blowing leads. And I feel like that's that ball dominant nature and how it gets stagnant. The perfect example. My Rockets, bro. We missed 27 straight threes. Because we couldn't make an adjustment. We just couldn't make an adjustment. And yeah, to a degree, Harden was very ball dominant, but we did have a good system as far as kicking it out, the spacing and stuff like that. But even then, it just shows how shit can get stagnant when you don't have a response outside of your main offense. LeBron is clearly the main offense. He's going to make points. He's going to facilitate and do everything. But when it switches up, defense make adjustments, what you doing? And that's the same thing that happened to the Rockets, bro. There's no way we should lose this game because we were winning the game, if I'm not mistaken, and we blew it. We missed 27 threes, and they took the game. Like, it's crazy shit like that. Fourth quarter, so let me look at it. Halftime, they were up 12. Third quarter, they were down. They were up 7. 6. 12-point game, 6-point difference, yeah. So they went into the fourth quarter with the lead, and like I said, they won the game, so I can't be too mad at them. But I feel like this was them escaping this game because 21 points to the 26, and he hit a buzzer beater. He hit a buzzer beater at the end. He went 2 for 6. He hit the big 3. He literally only made 1 shot in that fourth quarter, so he almost blew that too. And I shouldn't say almost blew that too. He almost blew this one, which he'd have been down 0-2 because last game, it wasn't so much blowing. It just ball didn't roll your way for sure. And maybe you could have made a better play, but, you get them back next game. This one, you up big, almost blew it. Third quarter, he played good. But fourth, he kind of lost it a little bit. 2 for 6, 33% from the field. Huge 3, though. Huge 3. I mean, I did want to look at this. Turnovers was low this game. No. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Turnovers was kind of high. 6 turnovers that game. So I almost blew it just from not being able to keep up with the ball. Let's see, turnovers. So yeah, he had 4 turnovers in the second half, 2 in the first half when they was winning good, and almost blew it with. Like I said, shit, he the only one that got multiple turnovers like that. Mo Williams had 2, but he had 4. So little shit like that. That's what I'm looking at to see those differences of why you only win by 1 point when you're up, however many. So now, game 3, going to the Magic. Got to make something happen. They fall short. It's okay. Let's see what happens. Braun had 41. He's hooping. Only 2 turnovers. He's going crazy. Let's see. Delonte only had 12. Mo only had 15. Nothing from the bench. I will say that the bench was horrible. And I will say that when I hear the team wasn't that good, I'm thinking about the starters. I'm like, Delonte, Mo, they was good role players. Iggy, good role player. Andrew Varejao, great role player. He greatest role player you really want to have. Hustle, rebounds, gonna do the dirty work. Great role player. But when you look at the bench, his bench is very underwhelming. I will say that. But not to a point where Magic was just crazy either. Like old Ben Wallace. Oh no, my bad. What a Magic. Michael Peaches, Gortat was all right. But I mean, they bench wasn't that great either, to be honest. But let's look at it. Let's go to these quarters. Bro went crazy. First quarter, the score is 17-24, so the Magic come out swinging very strong. Ray for Austin with 11. Dwight with 6. Oof. Oh, LeBron got 8 points. Okay, I thought he didn't score. Oh, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Mo Williams had 5. Delonte had 2. So this game, they did not start as good as they started those previous 2 games, which is all right. Let's see how he responds. They responded pretty well. Went up, or about tied the game pretty much. Yeah, pretty much tied the game. They were down 1 and a half going into half, but he put 10 points up to bring the game a lot closer, which it wasn't that much of a gap, but you don't want it to get out of hand. So he responded, but once again, Joe Smith scored some points. Iggy scored some points. Mo Williams scored some points. So people are capable of getting buckets. It's just like what happens in those key moments and where teams making runs or shit like that. So going into half, LeBron got 18, Mo got 10. Rafa got 11, Rashard got 11, and a couple other dudes got 5 and 6, which I mean that definitely adds up. Going into the third, what was the score? Down 1. What happens? They only down 1 going into the third. So how did we get to a point where it's a 10-point gap again? So look at it. Like it's so many swings that's weird. They were up game 1, game 2, only one by one, lost by 1. At halftime, it was a 1-point game and then it went to 10. So why are these swings happening so much out of nowhere? It's not being able to respond to runs. It's not so much the players, and that goes to, I think, system more than anything. So LeBron 9, Dwight with 10, and it is a 5-point game now. So going into the fourth, it's only a 5-point game. Like, yeah, the Magic has a good team. But are you telling me, as LeBron the GOAT, greatest of all time, can't make up for a 5-point lead? I don't know. He can't drop 30 in the fourth? I'm being funny because he did drop 14. He hooped, but didn't hoop enough. Because then that 5-point lead went to a 6-point lead going into the fourth, and that ended up being an 11-point loss or whatever, or a 10-point loss. So Dwight had 8. Higo had 6. LeBron had 14 for sure. Oh, Michael Peaches with a big time 8 points off the bench. But that's my thing. Yeah, I get it. Igausis didn't score. Mo Williams didn't score. Delonte didn't score. That happens. If you're a superstar, you step up in the moments. 14 is huge. I will not lie. But it wasn't huge enough. And for somebody to be GOAT conversations, only down 5 in the quarter, only down 1 at halftime, what we doing? I feel like he should be able to close that gap. Now let's look at this. First half, he shot He had 18 points. Let's be real. He had 18 points, but he was shooting 35% from the field. That's one of his worst shooting nights. One of his worst shooting performances. When they needed him. They needed him game 1 and game 2 for sure. And he balled out. But game 3, life on the line type shit. Going down 2-1, that's a big momentum swing when you consider they're going to be up 2-1 at home and they about to be at home again. So we need you really this game for sure. 35% first quarter, which is it's cool. But if he shoot more efficiently or get more people involved when he not shooting so efficiently, maybe they be up 6-7 points at half like those other games, and maybe they have enough to withhold him this game. But let's look at the second half. Went to 42 points and only 16% from the three. He was 0% in the first half and 16% in the second half. Like I said, if that three not falling, what we doing? And he shot a lot of threes. Ain't gonna lie. The second half, I mean, they kind of down a little bit, but he shot a lot of threes because that was almost half his shots was threes in the fourth quarter. I mean, second half. Fourth quarter, he went 3 for 8, 1 for 5. I mean, I get being 1 for 5. If they're not falling, they're not falling. You got to try to do something to get the lead back. I'm not mad at that. But is there any other way y'all can get some offense going? Because he took, let's be real. Let's be real. LeBron being great. Only taking 3 shots that wasn't a 3 in the fourth is kind of crazy. Let's be real. We know basketball, right? If you come in here to listen to this, you know basketball. 3 points outside of the three shots outside of 3-point in the fourth quarter is kind of crazy. And let's be real. Him having 14 points is 7 of them bitches was free throws. I mean, so he at least he get into the basket of some sort. So I can't knock him for that. But he also missed 5 free throws. Like, it's tough. Y'all lost by 10. That 5 free throws matter. 1 or 2 threes falling, that shit matter. Like, y'all only lost by 10. That's tough. Third quarter. 0 for 1. I mean, you're not bad. He only shot 1 3. Not bad. But he had 9. 3 was free throws. It's not bad. How you get 9? Oh, I'm tripping. 3 times 2. Dumbass. All right, but yeah. That fourth quarter, I think that's the key difference. Free throw and field goal attempts. Oh, okay, never mind. What the fuck is that? Why this shit so low? But yeah, I think that's the difference. LeBron more aggressive as far as less threes. Maybe it works. But you do kind of got to look at some of those free throw attempts is him getting to the basket. So I'm not too upset with him only having 3 shots outside of the 3, but that is a little strange when you consider we need you to be super aggressive. So let's look at the stats overall. No, I want to look at the whole game stats. Yeah, he shot less than 40% from the field and 1 of 8 from 3. That was clearly his worst performance. But like I said, they needed him in that moment. And there's nothing wrong with folding. Everybody, I'm sure Jordan had moments where he didn't step up when he needed to. But people going to hold it against you. Especially if it's moments we can all look back and remember. And one thing that's huge about this, like, bro, we was going to have LeBron versus Kobe if LeBron is able to get past the Magic. Like, that would have been huge. But he take the L. And then Kobe handled them with ease. And I know Kobe's team pretty good, but these people not bad either. We down. So going into game 4, down 2-1, you got to make something happen. If not, we're pretty much done. And I think that's when the series ended. Obviously, these games was way more closer than them two, if you ask me. Obviously, game 3 was a 10-point game, but it was a lot closer. And we're going to look into that to see how close them was actually. But down 3-1. Down 2-1. Having a chance to fight back and maybe get home court advantage. So this is huge. You win this game, bro. You go back home, right? You go back home for game 5. So then you can possibly take the lead. Then you go to Orlando game 6. maybe close them out or whatnot. And then in worst case scenario, you got game 7 at home. So this was a huge game. And LeBron shot 44% from the field, 13 for 29. That's not great. It's not great. He had 44 points. 14 was a free throws. It's okay. It's okay when it comes to getting the basket and stuff like that. But when you consider 13 for 29, that's not bad. It's just, once again, not the greatest performance, especially when you look at them first game 1, game 2. But from 3-point, he shot great. Delonte had 17. Mo had 18. Iggy had 12. Daniel Gibson had 8. Ben had 4. So these dudes are able to get buckets. And I look at it just like a Caldwell Pope. Like when he was on the Lakers, it was okay. On the Nuggets, big time contributor. I forget that other dude. It was like Brown or something. Something Brown that was on the Nuggets. Big time player. Bruce Brown, I think. Something like that. I might be saying a Spurs dude, but big time producer. Because with the Nuggets, everybody has a role. Everybody know what they're going to do. Everybody builds chemistry throughout the year. So when it comes to them big moments, it's nothing. It's nothing. And I feel like these dudes are great. Very talented dudes. They could put up some points for you. But certain shit gets stagnant because your offense is not as good. When as far as ball movement, having everybody involved, everybody having roles that can be respected and shit like that. Michael Peaches will drop 17 for you. Rayford Austin will drop 26 for you. And I'm going to guarantee you, Rayford Austin wasn't in his prime when he dropped this. Like, it just, the advantageousness, or it's contagious to play good when you have a great system versus it's contagious to have slumps and play bad when you have a ball dominant team. So you can have moments where you play great. Luka and Kyrie look great against the Nuggets. Great game. And I'm sure you can. Some games you can put 4 quarters straight together where you can beat a team. But when it comes to a series, and you got 2 ball dominant stars, the players around them more inclined to play bad than inclined to play good. And that shit is vindicative of the stars and the coaching. Because a part of it is like, hey, let's move to the triangle offense. And Michael Jordan like, fuck the triangle offense, then it don't work. But Michael was willing to adjust, and same with Kobe. And it got them big rings. So let's look at it. He had 44 points in a loss, not bad. They star stepped up. I mean, not they star stepped up. They role players stepped up along with Dwight stepping up. So you could clearly see they role players outplayed the other role players. But it's not like these role players contributed dick shit. It's just, I think that's when it comes to whose system better, who's less ball dominant, and shit like that. So let's get into it. First quarter, 25-21. They are winning. So let's be real. From the first 4 games, I think they was only lost 1 quarter in the first half. So it's not like this team cannot compete. That's the shit I hate. That's the thing that made me come here and making these conversations. Because it's not about a lack of competition from LeBron teammates. They just shit on them. Like, oh, he ain't got nobody on his team. But how the fuck they make the finals? How the fuck they like, come on, bro. Let's be real. It's just unreasonable. It starts to, so I'm like, so what's the other things can we look at? Because it's not that these dudes were just ass. If that's the case, they would have never made it that far. So LeBron had 7, shooting 3 for 7. Not bad. A little under 500. Dwight had 11, but they got the lead. Going to the second, 33-29. Cavs still have the lead. LeBron shooting 50% pretty much still. Another 10 points. Couple free throws. It's big time, but look at it. Delonte had 7 this quarter. Mo had 4 this quarter. Daniel had 6 that quarter. They can play good, but like I said, they inclined to not play as good in long stretches. When you look at a quarter or 2, they play good. When you look at a 4 quarters or a full series, things start to shake a little differently. And why? I think it's the systems. So, because it's not they can't compete. And another half going into the up 8. And it's not even that they going into, like, they winning quarter 1, quarter 2, them other games by 1 or 2 points. They were winning by 8 or more. So let's go into quarter 3. Things start to shake a little differently. Teams start to make adjustments coming out of halftime, 21-28. And that puts the game, let me see, they were up 8. So now they're only up 1 going into the 4th. or one tie, pretty close game, pretty much. The LeBron had 7, Mo had 6, Delonte had 4, Rafer had 15. But other than that, it really was quiet. There was one dude making some noise. But that's my thing. If LeBron's so great, if LeBron dropped 15 this quarter, if LeBron dropped 20 this quarter, because we seen it. Kobe had 18 in the quarter. He had 18 and a half, and then came back the next quarter and dropped another 18. So it's not about having 40 points. It's when you put them 40 points to use. Y'all down. You just blew an 8-point lead going into the third, and y'all need this, bro. You need to turn it on this half, this quarter. You can't come out flat this quarter and blow the lead that y'all just had. Like 7 points is cool. 7 points is cool, but you getting outplayed by Rafer Alston in this quarter, and you cannot have that. You see Rafer Alston have 10, oh, I need 15. You see Rafer Alston have 15, oh, I need 20. Because at the end of the day, everybody else is pretty even. So they best player in the moment is Rafer Alston. Y'all best player in the moment is LeBron. So who gonna be the big difference in this third quarter? It was Rafer Alston. So you're telling me LeBron lost game 3 because of Rafer Alston? That's insane. He's supposed to be the GOAT. And I'm sorry. Then we go into game 4. I mean, to quarter 4. It's a 1 point. They lost by 1. They lost by 1 point in the fourth quarter, bro. Like, when I emphasize to you, the dude is great, but he has some flaws. Like, it shows. 2 for 5. You telling me LeBron James, because, I mean, he took 8 free throws. But you telling me, out of all your points, to tie a series, and you need it, most of your points come from free throws? Like, it's great. Oh, they're following you and shit, but at the end of the day, you need buckets. You only took 2 more shots than Delonte West. It's just crazy. Like, when it's a 1 point game, y'all lost by 2. You only lost by 1 in the fourth. So you telling me, listen to this, y'all. You were winning the first and second quarter. You just didn't play strong enough. You didn't play ass. You just played flat. And blew the third quarter. Like, so you telling me 1 quarter was the difference. Y'all had an 8-point lead. The point differential in the third is the only big difference. Because 1 point, only losing by 1 in the fourth, like, oh, that's nothing. So you telling me what happened in the third was this huge deal to where LeBron was out of game 3. Rafer Alston. Like, when you really look, it went to overtime. Okay, hold on. Okay, I didn't see that. It went to overtime. But LeBron had 17. Rafer Alston had 20. But after that, it's pretty even. Delonte had 8. Rashard had 10. Mo had 6. This is the second half, which is, I mean, they only lost by 2. Mo had 6. Higo had 7. Courtney had 3. Iggy had 4. Verja had 5. Like, the biggest difference was LeBron James got outplayed by Rafer Alston in game 3 versus the Magic. Nobody ever say that. Nobody ever say that. And to the point where why did the Magic beat the Cavs? Oh, the Magic just had a better team. No, just Rafer Alston. Let's be honest. I'm just being honest. Like, that's kind of insane. Overtime, LeBron had 10 points. Salute to him. That's big time. It just wasn't big enough. 3 field goal attempts made, 7 attempted. I'm not mad at that. Free throws attempted 2. He took 5 threes. So now I am mad at that. You took 7 attempts. 5 of them was threes. What are we doing? LeBron James is tired. He's the GOAT. I don't want to hear it. From what people say, he's the GOAT. I do not want to hear it. And I will give him. He probably was tired. I mean, you're going into the fourth, and we need you to show up. You shoot 5 threes. I feel like that was the most threes you have shot the whole game. How many threes he shot the whole game? So the whole game he shot 5. And then in overtime he shot another 5. So I think that could contribute to being a little tired. And he also had 3 turnovers in a That's tough. Halftime, 1 turnover. Fourth quarter, 4 turnovers. And you lost by 1 point in the fourth as far as differential. And you lost by 2 points in the whole game. So you telling me one of those turnovers, maybe if you're a little less ball dominant, maybe if you play a little smarter, y'all win that game. Overtime, another 3 turnovers. So LeBron James lost because turnovers Because it's only a 2 point game. It's 4 possessions you turned over. So one of them possessions could have at least tied another possession, most likely winning. Same with overtime. What's the score? 14-16. Overtime, you only lost by 2. Overtime, you only lost by 2. So you telling me 3 turnovers? Not the difference. It was. It was. It truly was. Along with them 5 threes being chucked up. That's not what you need. And then you only got 4 points from the other players. Along with that, bro, that's the thing. You have dudes that are not stars. So you better step up, especially in OT. But even then, Dwight had 10, Rashad had 3, Peaches had 3. So it was very similar. They just got outscored by 1 point each as far as the Iggy and Daniel. So that's when they went to the stars. They went to Dwight every time. Well, what happened? What happened? Dwight ain't miss. Dwight ain't miss. Hit his free throws, hit his shot. Every time, give it to him. Give it to him. Feed Dwight in that paint. That's what happened. That's what happened. He got outplayed by Rayford in the third. He got outplayed by Dwight in the fourth. I mean, in overtime. That's not his team was incapable of winning. That's just what I'd be tired of hearing as far as the excuses and caveats every time it comes to a LeBron James conversation. And he's great. Don't get it twisted. 10 points in overtime, that's huge. Dwight did it too. Huge. But you was 3 for 7, and Naistar was 4 for 4. You was 2 for 5. He ain't even shooting threes. Didn't even need them. Literally, look at it. They hit 1 3 in overtime. Y'all hit 2. They took 2 threes in overtime. Y'all took 5. And that's directly overtime. That ain't coaching. This is you taking your shots. And what your shot selection versus they shot selection. And who playing smarter. They went through their dude. The White wasn't fucking around. They went through you. You fucking around a little bit. 5 threes a little excessive. They weren't even chucking threes like that. They just was getting it in the paint. You was 42% from the field. The White was 100. That's a huge difference. All right. And then those turnovers. It's tough. It's tough for real. So let's look at it. Higu Turgaloo, 29 points. Dwight 24. That's huge. Let's go down here. Once again, it's not about the team. It's just a lack of fundamentals at time for time. LeBron 11 for 24, 15 free throws, not bad. He had a triple-double. Huge game. LeBron is great. Don't get it twisted. But when it comes to the big moments and key factors, this is what people talk about when him being a killer and people being scared of him. Jordan and Kobe a lot of times made you pay for mistakes. LeBron, sometimes he faltered in certain moments where he probably shouldn't have. Let's get into it. First quarter. 35-18. This is not about lack of competition as far as role players on that team. It's more about LeBron being ball dominant and shit just get inconsistent at times. That's just how it goes when you're a ball dominant in offense. He had 11. Mo had 11. LeBron had 10. Clearly outplayed him first quarter. Let's get into the second quarter. Oh, excuse me. They stepped it up for sure. They dropped 37, and then y'all dropped 21. Sheesh. So let's be real. That was a huge swing. It's a huge swing. Let's look at halftime. It's 55-56. Close game at half, but what happened? Y'all played great first quarter. Something happened in quarter two. Defense adjustments, maybe. LeBron just not playing as good, maybe. I don't know. But something happened. Because y'all was up 15 damn near points. Just to give up a 15 damn near points. Like 16 points. Like, what happened? It goes to that inconsistencies. LeBron was 1-6. Mo was 1-2. Delonte 1-4. How? When y'all was just hooping so well in the first quarter. Ball dominant offense. That's what happens. It leads to streaky scorers. That's why J.R. Smith used to look cold as fuck and look sorry as fuck in certain moments as well. D'Angelo Russell Nigga drop 37 points when LeBron out or when LeBron chilling, and when LeBron on his shit, 15. If you know basketball, and I'm a big purist. I grew up watching Spurs, grew up watching the Warriors. I grew up watching teams, and OKC, great teams and good team play. And that's one of the things I love. Like, obviously, when I go to the basketball court, I'm not the dude that's going up there to shoot 20 shots. I hate ball hoggers. I hate niggas like that. So I like to see offense flow and move. So it stands out to me when I see a trend. LeBron James lose to good offenses. Not where the players are just better than him or anything like that. Just lose to good offenses, more consistent systems. And at a certain point, you gotta look at why LeBron chooses to be ball dominant when he can play 1 through 5. Why he don't come off the ball more then? Why he don't allow other players to be more productive in moments and in seasons, so when you need them in the key moments, they step up. LeBron chose to be ball dominant for 25 years. I don't know he been playing. I'm being funny, but 20 years, 21 years. Came in came in 03 and it's 2024. So at some point you gotta look him in the eyes and see what happened. So now we go to quarter 2. What happened? Dwight had 11, Higu had 9, Lewis had 8. LeBron had 2 turnovers, which not great. 16 points going into the half. Mo had 17. And then they have the top 2 scorers in the game at halftime. Dwight right next to him. Then you got 2 dudes at 11. But even then, you got Delonte at 9. You got Iggy at 8. So it's not that these dudes are so far off. Like, especially when you consider your 2 your 2 top dudes are scoring the most. Or more than the other team. So then we go into quarter number 3. It's close. It's close. It's a 1-point game, pretty much. Still a 1-point game. 55-56. The Cavs was winning going into half, and they're down 1 going into the 4th. Well, let's look to see what happened in the 4th. Higo had 11. That's cool. LeBron only had 4. 1 to 3 in the 3rd. Kobe would have had 18. I'm being for real, but I'm being funny at the same time. You're down 3-1. And you're only down 1 in the 3rd quarter. At some point, when does it kick in? I need to be aggressive right now. We have a chance to take momentum or keep momentum. And I'm just going to play flat to where the momentum is up in the air. So when we get into this 4th quarter, who knows what happened? But let's be real. LeBron let's say he dropped 15 points. You go into the 4th quarter up 10. Unless, obviously they could compensate and start scoring more too. But I'm just saying, if LeBron steps up, if everything else stays the same, because we know LeBron can step up. Well, let's say everything else stays the same. Everything else is within average. Nothing stands out. Nobody has 20 points in a quarter or anything like that. All these are within average. A dude dropping 11 points in a quarter, you can understand that happening. It may happen from quarter to quarter every once in a while. It's not out of the norm. But you got outplayed once again. This 2 3rd quarters back to back, he got outplayed. We breaking this shit down. 3rd quarter, last game, Ray Foster. 3rd quarter, this game, Turkoglu. Other than that, everything else was even. So you got outplayed by Turkoglu, which led to you being down 2. Let's say you matched Turkoglu. That's 7 more points. Y'all are up 5. You didn't even match Turkoglu. Let's say you outplay Turkoglu and you drop 15, 16, 20. In that range. You're going into the 4th up 10 plus, which is huge considering y'all are down 3-1. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. That's not like that. That's not GOAT level performance. Going into the 4th. Huge 1 for 3. All free throws. Oh, Michael Peaches stepped up. So in the 4th quarter, you got outplayed by Michael Peaches? Oh, no, he dropped 17. Okay. But your 17 didn't match. Your 17 only matched Peaches and Turkoglu numbers. How y'all look? Like, bro, just look at this, bro. Y'all outscored them by 11 points and lost by... Oh, wait, they won this game? Wait, am I tripping? Oh shit! They won this game. I'm smoking dick. I'm sorry, y'all. They won this game. What they do, bro? What's up, BK, bro? They won this game. I'm tripping. I'm thinking they lost 4-1. I don't know why I thought they lost 4-1. What in my mind? Why did I think they lost 4-1? So even in this game, they won. They won. Shout out. Shout out to them. They were down 3-1, right? Orlando, Orlando. Yeah, they were down 3-1. Game 5, they won. That's huge. That's huge. With LeBron dropping 40. My thing is, it just was you let it you waited to the fourth, and it's cool, but that could be scary at times too. But he stepped up, 40 points, 30 points, 37 points, and a triple double, quadruple double. Oh no, I'm looking at I was looking at the double. I was doing that, getting a little too much credit. But no, great game. Mo had 24. Great game. For some reason I thought they lost that game. That's on me. But even then, like I said, that third quarter, that looks scary when you consider y'all down 3-1. But he did what he had to do in the fourth. So now let's look at it. This is the closeout game. Not closeout game. Elimination game. Lost by 13. So let's look at it. Quarter number one. Quarter number one. 25 Cleveland to 30 Orlando. So them boys came out swinging. But LeBron did too. He responded with 13 points. That's huge. That's what I'd be looking for. A response. Dwight had 13. Braun had 13. Some of those other players just stepped up a little bit more. Mo was 0 for 3. Delonte was 1 for 3. It's a little tough. Like I said, those role players going to be a lot more inclined to be stagnant with their style of offense. So now we look at it. Mm, horrible, horrible second half. I mean, second quarter. You're down 5. And you go 0 for 3. Only 3 attempts. Like, this is where you're supposed to step up. This is where you're supposed to step up. Other players are scoring, okay, cool. But you zero. You zero. Like, you're not even, like, let's look at it. Dwight had 8. Rashard had 9. Top 2 scores. So, your closest help to that is 6. If you put up 8 or 10 or 12 or however much, Iggy 6 is not great, but it's manageable. Because if you look at it after that, 3, 3, 2, and 3. So it wasn't like the whole team was just doing crazy numbers. 2 dudes stepped up, and you did nothing. You were not even flat. You were ass this quarter. Ass this quarter. Didn't contribute shit. Jack shit. 2 assists, 1 turnover. You contributed jack shit, and you could at least mitigate it to, let's say you dropped 10, so now it's 25 to 28. You dropped 8, like it's 23 to 28. You drop 5, it's 20 to 28. Like, it's an 8-point lead is a lot better than 13. So that's huge. That's huge, and that's what I think is the big difference in legacies. It just didn't come through when he needed to in certain moments. LeBron James 13 and a half. Dwight with 21 and Rashard with 14. So yeah, at this point you need at least 20 points in the game. And let's be real, he had 13 in the first. And you had 13 in the first and you're going to halftime with 13. In what world is that GOAT level material? Like, when you're down 3, you just won. You were already down 3-1, but you won the game. You're 3-2. So if anything, y'all do something this game, y'all can win and go back home. Go back home tied. You didn't contribute shit. Delonte West and Mo Williams were like, fuck it, we'll do it. 9 and 9. So like I said, it's not a role player thing. It's just the inconsistencies of their offense. But the dudes was able to score. 9 points in the quarter. 2 dudes with 9 points in the quarter. And then they got 10. So now we look at it. It's 30 to 28. 30 to 28. What? Y'all were down. Y'all was already down huge. Y'all were down 5 this quarter. Yeah, down 18. And wait. First half. Yeah, down 18, and then you add another. So you're down 13 going into the fourth. Let's be real. If LeBron drop 18 coming out of half, they right back in the game. LeBron go 15 points. You gotta realize your season on the line if you don't turn up right here. If you don't come out of halftime going crazy, you trip. Your season on the line. Let's be real. Two. Oh yeah, three free throws was great, but only three only three other shots outside of the 3 pointer was regular field goals. That's just not good. It's not good, especially when you're shooting 33% from both fields. Like, not good. Let me see. First quarter, he was shooting 50%, so that's not bad. But you come out. How was you shooting 50% from the field? Oh, you must have shot like damn near 100% in the first quarter, pretty much. I'm like, how's it only 50 and he didn't score enough for second quarter? But 13 points and half. Should you'll be looking for 20, which would have you. Let's say you got 20. That's another 10 points. Oh no, another 7 points. So 47 to 58, which you're down 11, which is not bad. And then y'all have a close quarter going into the fourth. But they really probably it looked like they just couldn't close the gap. Yeah, I mean, he didn't show up the last 3 quarters. He didn't show up the last 3 quarters. That's not his team fault. That's not his team fault. They won the third quarter. They won the third quarter. They won the fourth quarter. They won the third quarter and won the fourth quarter for his team total points. And LeBron only had 12 points. So it wasn't even like, oh, it's all LeBron is the reason that they won those 2 quarters. They won third and fourth quarter, but LeBron just didn't show up. And the only reason they wasn't even close in this quarter, LeBron just didn't show up. He just decided not to show up. You have 13 points in the first quarter, and all of a sudden, this shit just go to shit. Or maybe the Magic just had great adjustments, but it shouldn't be no adjustment that great if you're a GOAT. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we led this conversation. It just went to shit, bro. It went to shit. When you look at Kobe, 4 or 5 dimensional scorer, post, midi, layups, 3 pointer. It's hard to come up with an adjustment that could stop Kobe Bryant. But when you got a ball dominant dude only get to the paint, not great at 3-point shooting, maybe you get 3 straight quarters where the dude just doesn't play good if you make the right adjustments. And that's what happened. Because there's no way you drop 13, don't drop shit in the second, you drop 8. There's nothing wrong with dropping 8 in the quarter, but when you consider you being down 15, it's not really that great. Like I said, that's one of them ones that's like, he had 25 points, but even at 25, it's like 13 of that 25 was the first half. And another, let's say, what is this, free throws? 13 was in the first, and the rest of the shit, another 7 was free throws. So you telling me LeBron only made 5 points? LeBron, outside of free throws, LeBron only had 5 points in 3 quarters. Let's go. He's better than Kobe. He's better than Jordan. I just don't see it. That's where things start to fall short to me because it's not, I don't have the players around me. It's not that. It's not that at all. Fourth quarter went 1 for 4. Third quarter went 2 or 6. That's just not top tier basketball. But we can wrap it up here because what else is there more to say? But when it ranged from Kobe and LeBron, like I think Kobe's has him by edge. I'm not gonna lie to you. 5 rings, and I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, those were Shaq." There was plenty of games on those runs where Kobe will drop 30, 40 points, and Shaq may have 25, 30 as well, but he was 1A, not B, C option. So when it comes to Kobe, yeah, I get it. People love to shit on him and his rings and shit like that, or whatever. But in my mind, he was a peer to Shaq. So much than just a coattail rider. Like Scottie Pippen a great teammate for Jordan. But let's be real, he wasn't a Kobe compared to if we want to talk about comps, like look at Shaq and Kobe, and then look at Jordan and Pippen. Them two niggas is better than those two niggas when you consider how less Scottie Pippen is bringing to the game compared to Kobe. Defense of Kobe and Scottie is pretty even. I don't want to go into awards and shit like that, but it's pretty even. I'm pretty sure Scottie Pippen got some all defenses. Kobe got some as well. Um, and when it comes to offensive, come on, bro. Kobe's a way dynamic scorer than you'll say Scottie Pippen. And then when you look at Shaq and Jordan, like and Shaq in his prime was going crazy just like Jordan was. So in my mind, they were more peers than a lot of people like to suggest. But yeah, bro, Kobe has 5 rings. Yeah, he only has one MVP. Who gives a shit when you're putting up 5 championships? And I think his last 2 championships proved that it wasn't just the Shaq thing. I remember that narrative way back in the day. Like him winning those 2 rings proved a lot to people. Him winning the first ring after him won proved a lot to people. Him beating the Celtics proved a lot to people. Where yeah, Shaq is great, but you won with Paul Gasol, which we talk about Paul Gasol. That's more Paul Gasol is closer to like a Scottie Pippen when he than a Shaq or a Kobe or a Jordan when you talk about having a second dude being there for you. Like, yeah, he's Scottie Pippen and Paul Gasol are great. But at the end of the day, they're not. Their team is nowhere near as good if Kobe ain't going off and Jordan not going off. So yeah, him winning with way less dominant stars than Shaq, as far as Paul Gasol and Andrew Bynum, like, come on, bro. That puts him in a level that I think is a lot different. And I know a lot of people may not like that. And it is what it is. I wasn't the biggest Kobe Bryant fan growing up. I would say if you want to look at totality of careers, I was way more of a LeBron fan as far as their prime and their careers than I ever was a Bryant fan. But it's just reality. I can't lie to myself. And it's very similar to the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady conversation. Obviously not now, but early on in those careers where yeah, Brady's great, but he has a good team, a great coach, great defense. So yeah, he got 3 rings and or 4 rings, and Peyton may have one. But when you start to get to 6, 7 rings and things like that, it's like yeah, I love fucking Peyton Manning, but at the end of the day, Tom Brady is a better quarterback, and it is what it is. It's tough for even me saying that, I just wanted to be like, but it's reality. It's reality. It's tough for me to say it, but at the end of the day, it's reality. 7 is better than 2. 5 is better than 4, and honestly, it's 3 if you ask me. From as far as LeBron James rings, I do not count. I just do not count the bubble ring. No matter what nobody want to say. Hall of Fame, obviously. 18-time All Star, 5-time NBA champion. I don't know what that means. What ass MVP? I don't know what that means. Cause I know he didn't win that many MVPs. I don't know what AS MVP means. 2-time Finals MVP. 12-time All Defense. Let me look at Scottie Pippen real quick. I just want to see the defensive matchup. Oh shit, else I spelled his name wrong. Bro, y'all know I didn't mean 10-time All Defense. Not bad. But yeah, I consider Kobe a better defender and better scorer. What else I want to look at before we get out of here? Okay. What's WCS? Oh, semifinal. Okay, that's what I thought. Um, I'm just curious. Where did that shit go? it's way down here. That's why I fucked up. All right, so let me see. His first year in the playoffs, they lost to Utah. He only had 7 points and 8 points. So obviously he wasn't that good as far as contribution. 1988, they went to the Western Conference Finals and lost to the Jazz again. What Jazz team is this? Is this the Jazz? This has to be the Jazz with I mean not Gary Payton or Karl Malone and shit. Hey, you love the shit on that Jazz team. Like that Jazz team wasn't good, but um they was beating Kobe and Shaq. Karl Malone, yeah. Jeff Hornacek and John Stockton. Yeah, I see him. Okay, I didn't see John Stockton at first. So let's go back. So yeah, they lost to that Jazz team 2 years in a row. Let me see. What was some of the season? So his second season in the playoffs, 26. Oh no, that's minutes per game. That's crazy. So he dropped 11, dropped 3, he dropped 10, and they lost. So he definitely got carried that year because they went to the Western Conference and didn't even he wasn't even contributing like that. Let's see, 1998 Lakers. I'm pretty sure Shaq had to be on that roster at that point. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, in the early stages of Kobe's career, he clearly got carried, but they wasn't winning yet. And that's the same as Scottie Pippen. Like Scottie Pippen contributed. Like obviously he the Bulls rating and record and things got better, but he didn't really contribute to winning until he hit a certain level. And yeah, that's why you got to give Scottie Pippen his credit. Let's see, 1999, they didn't win either. Lost to San Antonio, which I think that was the San Antonio team with Tim Duncan and shit like that when they first got him. Let's see, so points per game. This one he started to cut it on. 18 and 21. Um, 33 and shooting 40% from the field, not the greatest. Shooting a little over 33% from the three, which is not bad. Got swept in the finals. I mean, they got swept though in the semifinals. And after that, it was history and shit. I think they won championships in 2000, right? So let's see. When they start winning championships, average 27, 21, and 20 in those series. Shot back from the three on his against Phoenix, 15%. But then he came right back and shot 52% against Portland, and that went to game seven. That went to game seven. So let's look. We're not gonna go quarter by quarter. I just want to look at the individual stats. What's somebody cut on out there? Shaq had 41. Kobe had 13. Let's see. Did they win this game? Oh, they blew them boys out that game. Shit. Shaq clearly carried that game. Game two. Game two. Shaq had 23. Kobe had 12. They lost that game now. Back to back blowouts. This is a good Blazer team too. I'm trying to see what's on that team. They had Damian Stoudemire, Steve Smith, Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, Vitas Sabonis. I think I said his name right. So this is game three. They won by 2 points. Shaq had 26. Kobe had 25. So Shaq carried game one. Game two, they only won by 2 points, and Kobe show contributed to that. Um, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Shaq had a double double. Both had 3 turnovers. Yeah, I mean, without Kobe performance in that game, they lose. I mean, maybe Shaq steps up, but it's how things look. Without Kobe, that wouldn't have happened. So this game, they won as well. This would have put them up 3-1. Shaq had 25, Kobe had 18, 7 point difference. Glenn Rice had 21. God damn. Ron Harper had 18. That's just a great team performance. Like Shaq hoop, Kobe hoop, but they really had so many team players hooping they didn't even have to worry about that. Robert had 9, Fisher had 7. Like yeah, they were hooping. Rasheed had 34, a dog. Steve Smith had 20. Sabonis had 14. So once again, I mean, that's not a carry job. That's just a good team performance. Like we're gonna be honest about carrying. I mean, Shaq had 40 every game. Kobe had 18 every game. Like it was games Kobe and Shaq had both 25 points. Like chill out. Let's get into it. This is game. Damn, they were up 3-1. Almost blew it. Almost blew a 3-1 lead. You know what? This is gonna be a long video. This is gonna be a long video. I'm gonna go into clip it and maybe I clip it. Maybe I clip it. I don't even know. This video so long. We'll see. Rasheed Wallace 22, Scottie Pippen 22. They won this game. Let's look at it. Shaq had 31, Kobe had 17. So maybe if Kobe step up, they win this game. They lost by not 8 points. So yeah, Kobe definitely could have played better this game. 4 for 13, 30% from the field, 33% from the three. That's tough. He didn't play good this game at all. Ron Harper with 14. So yeah, not a good game, but they lost that one anyway. So it's a wash. When we come to actually winning the finals and the games they won, pretty close except for game one. And then here we go, game 6 they lost, but Shaq didn't step up this game. Shaq was 7 of 17, 41% from the field, which is crazy from Shaq. Like I get it, not shooting great from the free throw, but 41% from Shaq, like that's crazy. Like let's look at game one real quick. I'll go back and look at game one maybe. And, I'm pretty sure it was like 80% from the field. Like let's be real. Yeah. Kobe 33. They didn't win that game, so I was like, all right, whatever. But you can kind of blame. They lost 2 games in a row. You can blame game 5 and game 6 on Kobe and Shaq. Kobe game 5, Shaq game 6. Let's get into game 7. Game 7. She had 30. Kobe had 25. Shaq had 18. Yeah, they got carried. Yeah, Kobe got carried. Did he foul out? There's no way Shaq only has 5 field goal attempts. Makes. It's just crazy. I don't see fouls on here, so maybe he fouled out that game because he only had 18 points that game, which back-to-back games were only at 18. So you could literally say the last 2 games Kobe was the better player, and without Kobe performance this game they lose. So that's 2. I think it was game 4, which they went up 3-1 or 3-2 or whatever you want to call it, and then game 7 without Kobe they're nothing. And then let's look at. I need to go back a couple of pages because this is just the Western Conference Finals. What was the actual finals? So this is when they played. This might have been a year they played. I think AI in the playoffs, so they really wasn't that hot. And then they beat who? Finals? Indy. Okay, they beat Indy. 2000 Indy team. Okay, how did that finals go? In the finals, what am I looking at? Where's points? Oh, Shaq carried. Shaq carried in the finals. Let's look at the actual score because that's crazy. 15 points average. He carried in the finals for sure. Let's see. Game 1 they won. Shaq 43, Kobe 14. Yeah, that's Shaq went crazy that game. Game 2 they won. Shaq 40, Kobe 2 points. Oh, he was hurt or something. He had to be hurt. There's no way. So even maybe even game 2 he was hurt. Or game 1 he might have been even hurt too. If I'm being honest. Because why he only had 8 minutes. Game 3 they lost. Shaq had 33. Kobe didn't even play. Didn't know that. Reggie Miller was shooting his ass off. Won that game. Let me see. Kobe's back. Oh, he comes back. He dropped 28, and they win. So I mean, his contribution needed. Game 1 they didn't need him. Game 2, I don't think they needed him either. One game 1, one game 2, lost game 3 in a row. So they won both games at home. Didn't need him. When he comes back, they was already up 2-1, right? But I mean, Indy was at home. The series could have easily got tied back up, and Shaq and Kobe hoops. Let's just see what the fourth quarter looked like. Shaq had 14. Kobe had 10. Okay. And the third. OT. Let's see what OT looked like. Didn't see OT. Kobe had 8. Shaq had 2. So he definitely contributed to winning in the championships. But you could say the first 2 games they didn't need him. But to act like he didn't contribute and it was just straight up carry, I guess maybe the first game. And game 2 you can't really count because he got hurt, honestly. This game you can count though. They lost this game as well, so you definitely count this. Kobe had, Shaq had 35. Kobe had 8. He played all the minutes. 4 for 20. And they shot 20% from the field. That was crazy. Ain't gonna lie to you, that's crazy. So if I was to round it up, he got carried this year for sure. That's just crazy, especially when you consider they lost that game. Let's see. 26-41, which is he still contributed, but he shot 29% from the field. But that's just not great. And they won that. So if I was to give a percentage of like production, just looking at the stats, I mean, how things shake out on the court as far as ball gravity and all that other good stuff, the percentage could be way skewed. But if just looking at stats, I'd say it was like a 70 or 65-35, or maybe even a little less than that as far as Kobe contribution to the championship as far as star players. Like, clearly Shaq carried that season. But now it made me want to just look at some of these other Laker seasons. So that's the first championship, and that's Kobe still fairly young in that situation. Then you go into 2002, 2001, excuse me. I mean, they beat everybody ass. It's tough. They whooped everybody ass. They only lost one game in that final, so I mean that's honestly tough. I'm not gonna go through stat for stat, but let's look at Kobe's averages. Yeah, this is game. I mean, series 1, but Kobe had 25, Shaq had 27. Damn, it was only 3-game series. That's crazy. Then we go to what's the conference semifinals. Swept these niggas again. Kobe with 48, 36. Just looking at that, Shaq had 2 good games. Kobe had 2 great games. Series second round, Kobe actually averaged more than Shaq as far as points per game. Team rebounds, Kobe averaged pretty. I think that's high for him. 9 rebounds, and then Shaq had 17. So Shaq clearly production's a little better with the rebounds, but you're not expecting Kobe to get all them down rebounds. And then Kobe had 4 assists, 3 steals.